Hey you guys, I should shut my door. I am starting a live on two platforms. One is my YouTube channel, hi you guys, and the other one is on my IG. Hey you guys, what's good, Emmy? How you doing? I decided to share on both platforms because I do have a YouTube channel and it's under Alchemy with Aset. That's Alchemy with Aset, A-S-E-T. And I wanted to just share with you guys. I just got off a 3 days fast. Hey you guys, what's good, what's good, what's good? So I just got off a 3-day fast. And boy, oh boy, I want to share some stuff with y'all. And I think it's very imperative because a lot of people are trying to kickstart their health journey. And I think the best way for people who have challenges, health challenges and things like that, to kickstart their health challenges is by getting their body acclimated to what they're about to do so they don't revisit the old habits. And I got some tricks for you. I got some tips for you and I got some tricks for you. So about my 3-day fast, it ended today and it was tough. It was super, super tough. And I haven't did a fast in years. So the first time I did a fast was when I was maybe 15 or 16 years old. And I did it in the city where I come from. We did it with the church. And when I tell you I did this fast and I got a lot of downloads on day 3. They were very profound. They had a lot to do with what's going on with the world today. And it was giving me some insight on where the world was going, where we were going in general. And I think that's a really good thing when it comes to fasting because you have a lot of clarity. You don't have the Hunger Games that's taking place to make you not be in tune with your spirituality or listening to your gut, the intuition and all that type of stuff. So and that's starting off with my first tip. There's like different types of fasts, but the question is, what's your reason for going on a fast? Your purpose. People go on fast for many different reasons, and for anybody that's trying to go on a fast, I highly suggest you ask yourself why, write it down, take a picture and stick it on the wall somewhere so you can stay dedicated to it. I have my microphone here for my YouTube channel, so I want to make sure that I'm being heard properly. So let me adjust some stuff. If you guys are not on my YouTube channel, please go ahead and get on, subscribe, because I'm about to start pumping it up with a lot of different stuff. And I think you guys should be in tune with what I have to say and what I have to share and the knowledge that I've acquired to share with you. So the types of fasts that they have, there are different kind of types of fasts. There's juice fast. There's fast where people do sun up, sundown. That has a lot to do with Muslims. There's a fast where you do a water fast. There's other kind of different fasts, but those are some of the more popular ones that people typically do. But whatever you do when you go into a fast is recommended that you stay disciplined to it. So I have my notes right here. So if you catch me looking down, that's the reason why, because I don't want to miss something that I wanted to share with you guys. So I'm sweating a little bit. It's a little warm in here. So my what to expect when people go on a fast, I don't know if they do a lot of searching when they get into this fast or understanding what is about to happen. All they know is that they're about to starve and for X amount of days. And some people may give up, some people may throw in the towel, and that's why it's important to have like that paper sitting there constantly reminding you why you're doing this. If it's for spiritual reasons, if it's for weight loss reasons, if it's for health reasons, it should always be in front of you to constantly remind you and keep you in a dedicated space. So Dr. Miles Monroe, is he is a pastor. Rest in peace. He passed away many years ago, but he have a video out there on YouTube about fasting, and I highly recommend anybody that is trying to get into a fast, watch his video, because his video will give you some insights on how the body is about to perform and what you should expect, so you don't get caught off guard and you lose your interest in the middle of your fast based on how many days you decided to dedicate to it. So his name is Dr. Miles Monroe, Myles Monroe, something like that, Monroe. Maybe it's RUMUN, I don't know, but he's not hard to find. He's very, very, very popular. So what he has expressed, when you come into a fast, for the first day your body start acting really weird, you start acting weak. Same experiences that I had when I started my fast. It was foreign to me after buku years of not fasting. I do a lot of detox. Detox is different from fasting. So your body starts to go into this crumbling phase where you just want to eat. You can't believe that you're starving your body and depriving your body for all these different reasons, but it's really the body is setting up for something else. And so he was expressing that the gases are causing you to act the way you're acting, but you can find out more, just visit his video. So for my experience, for my day one, when I decided to go into this craziness, for my spiritual reasons and many other reasons, I was extremely hungry, and typically I can go throughout the day not eating, missing meals and things like that, but this time it hit different, and it's only because I mentally said I am about to starve myself. When I am not in that mind space, I am just going throughout my day missing meals, and I'm like, oh yeah, I didn't eat, oh shucks, oh well, and I'll just pick up on something. But when you're fasting and you're putting your mind in a certain space, it's almost like, oh shucks, I'm about to do that. So if you decided to go into a fast, just be mindful of that mental reset. It's intimidating, so you're going to feel even more weak when you go into that first day, because you know what you're about to do. You're about to not eat the next day. You're about to not eat the days after that day. So it gets a little heavier on you. So day two, my body starts to realize that she starved me and I don't know what to do, so it starts saying, okay, whatever. And frankly, the next day I woke up with a little energy. The third day, I did a 3-day fast. So some people go all the way out for like 14 days. Some people go out for about 3 days, 10 days. It's your preference, but the whole thing is to stay dedicated to it. So I did a 3-day, and my third day, when I woke up, it was fine until the night started getting darker, and then I began to get weaker and things. And I think it had a lot to do with the mental, because I knew. So when you're going into this fast, I really want you to be mindful of how your mind will play tricks on you. It's a big deal, because some people can go a little further and not be so overwhelmed with the fast until day 10 or day 14 or something like that. It's like an influx of energy and then another downflux of, oh my gosh, and vice versa. So when it comes to how long you should fast, that's something that you should consider. Like, you think about it. Don't just do it because somebody else is saying, I did it for this. I did it this long. It really should be based on your preference, how long you think you can do it. For people who never did a fast before, I highly recommend you start with a day. 1 day. See if you can, build your body up. The next time you go around, I suggest that you do it for 2 days and vice versa. You go ahead and go a little further. Maybe once a month going into a fast would be nice for people who want to go and try it out, build their stamina and things like that. The importance when it comes to fasting, you get a lot of special benefits from fasting. And one of those benefits, a lot of people may not know that when you fast, you reset some stem cells, and stem cells are important. You can research on what stem cells do to the body. Nowadays, they're doing some weird stuff in a science lab trying to stimulate stem cells, but they're very important. They're good for rejuvenating cells, rejuvenating tissue, organ tissues, and all this stuff. So that's why it's really good. Another good reason, benefits that fast have are, say for instance, you're trying to lose weight. You can drop that weight really fast, but the question is how you exit. And that's something I'll talk about a little later, how you exit the fast and how you stick to what you want if you're trying to do it for weight loss reasons. If you're doing it for spiritual reasons, some of the things that you can do in between that fast is meditating, grounding yourself, going out into the sun, getting more, sun on your skin, and making sure that you don't wash it off so soon, putting your hands in some soil if you do have like a garden or something like that, listening to frequencies. On Instagram, they have like this, they have a something up there that's talking about frequencies for specific zodiac signs. And what was funny and interesting was that the frequencies that I listened to all the time was in conjunction with what they were saying. And my high frequencies was 432, and Cancer is my sister, so the other frequency that I am highly in tune was 417. So I found that very interesting. But if you guys run across that and you decide to do a fast, that is a really good thing to do if you're doing it for spiritual reasons, is to put on some frequencies and just be in tune with one. Get out, go in nature, go walk. If you're strong enough to go ahead and get into a walking session. Drinking a lot of water while you're doing this fast is another good idea, obviously, because that's all you have to survive off. But when it comes to like a juice fast, with a fast, I don't want to say necessarily a juice. This is when you deal with a fast, you're doing tons of things to the body. One of the main things is clearing the gut, right? Even if you say, I'm not trying to do it for that reason, you're clearing the gut. You are forcing your body to digest food that's been stored in there for so long, even backed up food that you didn't have any reasons or if you didn't intentionally do it, it's coming out, especially when you drink all that water. Because a lot of times people are constipated, they have backed up foods in their system. It's because they're constantly eating over and over, and they're not giving their body a chance to break down the foods or process the food out. So the body is overwhelmed. So when you stop eating, that food is going to come out of you, because that's the focus that the body is really focused on. It's not focused on what goes into your mouth. It's not focused on what's in your stomach. It's not focused on breaking anything down. So all it's focused on is what's in the gut. And I'm going to show you guys my post bod, okay? Because I was on a trip for a minute. I don't know if some of you guys be following me like that, where you notice that I moved from one state to another state, and I was detoxing for 4 months, and I was not eating certain foods, and I was very strict about it. So when I came to the new state in which I am right now, I kind of like act up a little bit, I really did. And I gained some weight. So there was a few reasons why I went through this fast. But my body started to come out of proportion, and I was gaining. I was getting a little bloated, and my stomach was getting a little extra. So now that I fast, it's a little, pulled back a little tighter. But knowing how to do certain things is very, very helpful. And this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. So the question is, what do I do when I fast? What I would suggest for people to do when they go into a fast is, one, obviously get mentally ready. But two, before you go into a fast, it's very important for you to prep prior. So what I mean by that is start to reduce the amount of food that goes into your system, so you don't constantly pressure yourself all the way to the beginning day of your fast. Eating less and less and less, and keeping certain foods away. So if you are drinking sodas, juices, drinking alcohols and things like that, it's going to be a little bit extra, because you're dealing with something, the sugars, that's going to make you want to crave those things during your fast. And it will be silenced when you start the fast. But to stop yourself from getting in that space and not going cold turkey, it's best to start reducing what you are what you're typically eating prior to the fast. So it would be best that you eat more lettuce-filled foods. Eat your lettuce and your fruits. And after you eat the lettuce and the fruits for a couple of days, then you go down to just, salads and things like that until you get closer to that day. Then you start cutting your meals down. You start saying, you know what, on this day, I'm going to eat 3 meals a day, no snacks. On this day, I'm going to eat 2 meals a day, obviously no snacks. On this day, I'm going to eat 1 meal a day. And you probably want to perform that for the next couple of days or 2 days before you actually jump into that fast. Now you're mentally ready. Your body is like, okay, I'm in a space where I am in survival mode, so I'm not expecting as much food as I typically get on a normal basis. So that's how I will go into a fast. And then I will also de-scum. I have this product right here, which is it's a very popular product that a lot of people like, and it's a de-scummer. This de-scummer is something you can find. This on my website. It's under mydetoxer.com. But this is something that is very helpful. I didn't do this with the fast that I have just got off of. But what I did notice a couple of years ago, maybe 6 or 7 years ago, I wanted to go on a fast, and I started drinking this stuff, and I noticed that I didn't want to eat. So I was drinking and drinking and drinking, and every day I noticed I really didn't want to eat. And I was shocked behind it, because I wasn't sure why I didn't want to eat until I really put my finger on it. That is this right here that was causing me not to want to eat. So it put me on an automatic fast, and it was going on for 2 months, and my body started resetting every little thing. All my pains was going away. I lost 18 pounds with it. It was feeding me at the same time because it's full of nutrition. It was de-scumming my gut. It was suppressing my appetite. It was taking the mucus out of my body. It was opening up my sinus cavity. It caused me to breathe better. It caused me to have more flexibility. It just basically reset my whole body, period, hands down. But the reason why I recommend something like this during a fast for people who are beginner fasters, who never fast, whatever the case is, people who are fasting every once in a while, whatever. This will help you not be so hungry, because it's like a meal. It's a vegan bone broth. So, but if you decided to just go on a water fast, that's good. But if you decided to have like some kind of something warm on your stomach that will help stop the agitation, the aggravation of just being hungry, that's a good thing to invest in. So, but you can find it online at mydetoxer.com, and that's my lifesavers. A lot of other people lifesavers too. So a question that I propose as well is, should you take vitamins when you're fasting? I would say no. I would say no vitamins. Why? Because you're on an empty stomach, and certain vitamins can they need to be combined with foods so you don't throw it up. Other things when you're going, while I was going through the fast, I know in the Bible it expresses, like, when you do fast, I'm not a Bible thumper, but in the Bible it does express this: when you do go on a fast, you want to make sure that you look healthy. Don't run around in a mope space. Don't run around acting like, oh, I need pity. I want people to feel sorry for me as I go through this journey. No, you continue to act vigorous. You continue to do what you normally do. Be prideful. Keep your skin refreshed, and act as if you're just doing whatever you do. Nobody needs to know what you're doing. When you are doing your fast, I would highly suggest that you don't put chemicals on your body. Your whole purpose of doing this fast can be for just health purposes or just spiritual. Either way, putting chemicals on your body is not the best way forward when it comes to fast, because you're trying to purify your body. So some of the things that I use when I do my fast, when I did my fast, is that I use grapeseed oil or olive oil on my skin to keep it nourished and healthy. I use it in my hair. I always did brush with baking soda, so I never worry about that. And I have a girlfriend that I work with. Her name is Tara. Tara. I always say Tara. It's the way it's spelled, but it's Tara. And you guys can find her on Instagram. She's phenomenal. She is, and I know Instagram don't like this, but she is responsible for curing. I'm going to say curing because she has a lot of people that are showing the results. She is responsible for curing HSV1, HSV2, and also HPV. Right? So we link up and we are working on some master stuff too. But she gave me some of her products to, because she's a holistic person as well. And she gave me some toothpaste and some. She gave me some toothpaste and she gave me some deodorant. So I typically use deodorant. Now I don't use deodorant, but I typically use for my deodorant alcohol. I wash underneath my arms really good and I spray. Or I'll use baking soda. When you're natural, you have to flip and flop. You have to go back and forth and use these different things to go ahead and make sure you get the results that you're looking for. So I don't use chemicals on my skin because I don't want all this extra stuff to be being put into my body as I'm detoxing the stuff out of my body. So another thing is you want to make sure that you isolate yourself. So, and when I say isolate yourself, I mean the temptation. You don't want to place yourself in temptation. You don't want to place yourself in a space where you feel like, oh man, everybody's around me, unless you have enough discipline to fight that. And I personally can do that. I can go ahead and sit in the middle of crowds and watch them eat and let the smells hit me and it doesn't affect me. My eyes will be more effective than anything, but the smells, no. But I have enough discipline to go ahead and say, you know what, I'm fasting right now, so I'm not going to fall victim to, this frivolous food that's going to be here tomorrow, So placing yourself around people who will support you in what you do is very important, because they're going to try to find ways on, giving you words of wisdom. They're going to give you supportive words. They're going to just, make sure you stick to what you decided to do. So placing yourself around people or separating yourself from people that do not behoove or support what you're doing is very imperative. So you guys know the type of people that you have around you. When you're doing your fast, people have questions on, what can a fast do for you? A fast has given me clarity, answers, although I am a very spiritual person, so I always detox. This is another thing too. This right here, when I first started doing this detox, or I want to say de-scummer because it's being rebranded as a de-scummer. But when I first started doing this, it scrubbed my intestinal walls from my experience, and it opened up my spirituality. My spirituality heightened. Because why? Because all of the scum was gone. All of the trash was out of my body, and I was able to be more in tune with my intuition. And your intuition settles in the gut. Your gut tells you what to do. It tells your brain what to do. It tells your body how to operate or not operate. So, when it goes to me fasting, I always did have clarity, but for other people, it can bring clarity if you never did detox. And then you'll realize the connection that you have with life itself. Listening to your inner self, and listening to your inner self is very important nowadays, especially. It can help you with weight loss, which I've already said. It helps regenerate stem cells, and it also helps a lot with discipline. For people who have problems with smoking, drinking, eating terrible foods, discipline is like a big for this to get back on track. So it's back on track. So discipline. So when you have discipline, if you have enough discipline to go into a fast, you gotta take that same discipline and bring it on the other side when you exit. Because if you only stay disciplined to a fast and you don't be disciplined to things outside of a fast, it's kind of like an oxymoron. Like, how can you do one thing and you can't do the other? So you should always revert back to that part. If I can do a 3-day fast, if I can do a 1-day fast and cut out the drinking, cut out the smoking, cut out the eating horrible, cut out the whatever talk that you may talk that you probably want to change up, you should always revert back to, Dan, if I did it with the fast, then I should be able to do it any other day. And those are things that I feel like people should always add into their archive and be able to pull out at any given time, because they're that strong. Most people are not fasting. So if you have the ability to fast like that on a just any given day, then you have the strength to go into any other discipline outside of a fast. That is smoking, drinking, eating bad foods, sugary foods. You should be able to say, you know what, I'm not having that. Even if your body says so, you should be able to say, I'm not having it. But if you're struggling with foods and things like that, then you might want to go back into another detox. If you do detoxes, or if you haven't done a detox, it's basically your gut being reintroduced to scummy stuff. Because once you come out of a detox or a fast, mainly a detox, or mainly a de-scummer, shall I say, the de-scumming does not leave residue behind for you to have those cravings anymore. So they only come back when you reintroduce it to yourself. So you want to make sure you're not reintroducing things back into the body to make the body say, I want it again. So that's the important part about not once you fast, once you detox, once you de-scum, that stuff should already be out of your mind, and you shouldn't have a problem in that area. So when you do decide to have a piece of something, if it's outside of the health realm, then you should be able to say, you know what, I'm going to have just a little bit piece of here, and that's enough for me. Right? So, also when you're going into a fast, you're starving bacteria, unnecessary bacteria that doesn't belong in your body, and you're also starving parasites. So a little bit about the bacteria part, from my experience. As I was fasting, now I can say this for myself, and I can't say it too much for somebody else because I haven't been talking in people's faces like that. But I believe two things in my mouth. I have studied dental for some years. I was active in the dental field for some years, and one of the edges that I have on a lot of holistic practitioners and also doctors, is the fact that I can combine those practices together and kind of like nip stuff in the bud and be able to help a person that way, because I do understand the oral cavity and how the oral cavity affects the rest of the body. And when it comes to some doctors out there, they don't put two and two together because they haven't studied dental, so or how the oral cavity affects the rest of the body. So when it came to the dental part of my fasting, I noticed that my breath didn't stink. And also, I noticed that I didn't have no plaque buildup on my teeth. So if I really wanted to, I could have just easily got up and decided to just fluff my hair and walk on out the door and not brush my teeth, just wash my teeth. That's how fresh my breath was. And it has a lot to do with bacteria. You know, bacteria feeds off of the foods that you put in your mouth. So my studies in dental, you know, you have a plaque that will start to lay film on your teeth after about 20 minutes of eating. And that is like the adhesive to the other bacteria that's going to come onto your mouth, onto your teeth, and cause all the bacteria to chew at your teeth. And this is why people get cavities and things like that. So during the fast portion of it, it helps with remineralizing the teeth, because you don't have any sugars or any foods from sugars that's causing that to be on the teeth. And this is why ancient people probably didn't have cavities. This is why a lot of them didn't have cavities, because, you know, a lot of, you know, people who studied the dead noticed that their teeth were intact. And from my studies, I understand that's how you keep your teeth in your mouth. Floss every day, brush as much as you can, and that will keep away the bacteria. But food brings that on, especially during this fast that I did. The food was not in my mouth. Therefore, I didn't have bad breath. I did not have scummy teeth. You know, so in the gut area, you have bacteria in the gut, so it's not feeding off of anything. For women who have yeast infections, stuff like that, you know, your body is feeding off of sugars, simple sugars, sugars from bananas, anything like that, even gestational diabetes, women who are pregnant, people who are diabetic. When all food has glucose in it, it's going to reduce down to glucose, because that's what the brain needs in order to survive and thrive. So if you are eating foods, then any little foods that you give it that has any kind of sugar content, even if it's natural, is going to feed the bacteria. Period. It's going to feed the bad bacteria as well. So this is why it's very important to go into a fast to stop them from wanting. And you can kill them off like that as well. Parasites as well. If they don't have anything to eat, they starve, right? I do know of some people that do go through a parasite cleanse as they go through their fast, but a good way to go and do it is this parasite cleanse. It can clean, it pulls everything out of the intestines. Purifying your skin, I already talked about that with the oils, making sure you put good oils on your skin, mineralizing the teeth, and also making sure you have high frequencies going on. You know, put you some high vibrational stuff so your body can be in accordance. It can recalibrate itself, because you are water. So you're 75% to 80% water. So those frequencies will help the body become aligned and tune things up like a tuning fork. So your body really needs any kind of high frequency, any kind of good nutrition, natural nutrition, starving certain things. This is why stem cells are regenerated during a fast. So that's why I feel like it's super, super important for people to just do it. And also, they say God said on the seventh day that everybody rested. Everybody needs to rest. I rest on Sabbath. I rest every Saturday with no activity. I shut it down because I can go. But I shut it down. I stop all activity, all movement, and let my body regenerate. And I strongly feel that everybody else should be doing the same thing. And also fasting at least one day. Because if your body needs to rest, your stomach, your gut, your intestines, your organs, they need to take a break as well. And for many years out of people's lives, they don't rest that part. And this is why their body is overwhelmed and they get dis-ease. So the question is, what happened after I ate my first meal when I got off my fast? Okay, that was the cool part. There was plenty of times where I felt like, I won't say plenty of times, but I had a few moments where I was a little nauseous. So I would drink more water and it would take care of that. One of the tricks is to drink as much water as you can. I have like this monster keg that I run around with, and everybody knows that's my signature. It's about yay big and it's about this wide, and I gunk it. I thought I was hydrating myself with one of those, but realized that it wasn't what I thought it was. It was just a 50 ounce, and I thought it was an 80 ounce, and I was dehydrated. And so when I doubled up and drank both of those cans, I noticed that everything was coming back. I was going to the bathroom like I should have. My urine was clear like it should be. My skin started getting a little bit more hydrated. My hair started flourishing much more. My lips were not pink anymore. For people who have pink lips, that has a lot to do with intestinal issues and dehydration. So I noticed that my lips did come back to a brownish color, and I feel like the water did that. So drinking a lot of water is very imperative. So when I ate my first meal, which it wasn't a meal, exiting the detox or the fast is one of the most critical things that you need to really be careful of, because you don't want to bombard the system and freak the system out. You don't want to do that. So my suggestion, and mind you, this is not medical advice. This is just coming from a friend. All right, your holistic healing friend. Take one thing at a time. Don't put the sugars in your body. I did not put sugars in my body. I don't recommend sugars going to the body because, one, anything with sugar can spike the insulin levels, especially if your body is not used to eating it. If you are the type of person that eat one thing at a time, one meal a day, and then you are diabetic, which I've heard many years ago talking to someone, they said I eat one meal a day, and they said I'm diabetic. And it puzzled me, and it just put me on this track of understanding that for many years. And I came to the understanding of, oh shucks, this person was spiking their insulin level. That's why, So when you are deciding to eat like that, if it's one meal a day, or if you're coming out of a detox, coming out of a fast, or whatever the case is, try your hardest. Even when you wake up first thing in the morning, the best thing for you to do is to, one, wake your system up very smoothly with some water first, room temperature water. The next thing you do is bathe your organs, because you want to tell your organs, hey, it's morning time, I'm waking you up, and I'm being gentle about it. Some people wake their body up pretty harsh. They put heavy foods on it. They put bad food combination foods on it, and the system is like, wait a minute, I'm not about that life. But if you want me to be about that life, fine, but it's going to cost you, and it does cost a lot of people later on. So the best way to wake your system up is warm water. Then the next thing you do is drink some lemon water or lime water to alkaline the body. The next thing you want to do is probably bring in some tea, some hot tea. It can be some dandelion tea. It can be milk thistle tea. It can be a detox tea. It can be a peppermint tea, whatever kind of tea it is. It just wake it up nice and smooth, get the body going, let it start doing its thing, because you are on a circadian rhythm. And technically we're not supposed to be eating, for us humans, we're not supposed to be eating before 10 a.m. because the body is still trying to work with the sun and the moon, so you want to do things according to the circadian rhythm. So when you do introduce something into your body, in the system that they have today out here for us is telling us to give ourselves donuts first thing in the morning. Give yourself milk first thing in the morning. These are all inflammatory foods that's going to cause your body to have all kind of issues, of course. So when you do wake your body up, don't give it sugars, don't give it cereal and milk. Don't give your kids cereal and milk, because that's the stuff that's going to cause your baby to have all kind of mucus. To me, when I decide to give my kids some kind of cereal product, it's very sorted out. I do pay attention to what I put in them, what I take out of the store, and also I would give them something such as coconut milk, almond milk, and things to that nature. And I don't give that to them all the time. It's a snack. It is not a meal. It's a snack. Okay, and that snack is given to them way later down the line, and they don't have it every day. So giving your kids stuff or giving yourself something like that is not conducive to your health. It's going to spike your insulin levels. So when I broke my fast, I did have a tomato, and that tomato was so good. And the reason why I chose the tomato, one, is because tomato does have sugar in it, just because it's a natural fruit, but it doesn't have high sugar content like a typical fruit like a apple or a banana. I ate that because I wanted something that was going to be hydrating and not hard to break down. So if I decided to have a salad, the salad would be rough to break down, especially if it's a dense leafy salad. That dense leafy salad is very, very hard to break down. That's why they call it dense and leafy, unless I decided to do like a romaine lettuce or something. So, or I would have, I had cucumbers, but cucumbers has a lot of water. So my choice was tomato or cucumber, on how I can open up my stomach to receive, and not cause it to be in a space where, oh, this is too much for me. I just came off of a 3-day fast, and now you want me to break some stuff down like I've been breaking things down for a long time. Oh, you can't hear me. Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't know why you can't hear me. Oh, wow. That's just horrible. Okay, let me just unplug this. I'm sure you can hear me now. I really apologize. I did not know you couldn't hear me. This is on my YouTube channel. I apologize. If you want to catch up with what I said, you can go to Instagram, and my Instagram is meaningful_holistic. You still can't hear me? Oh, wow. Okay. So when you break that fast, I decided to, yes, I am. Hang on, you guys. I'm sharing this with someone else. Instagram, IG. So when you do break that fast, I gotta do a little testing on this and see why it's not being heard. So when you do go into your breaking your fast, start off with something. So my experience with the tomato, I'm glad I chose the tomato. One, because I did not, you're welcome. I did not have to do any cooking. And I just wanted to open my body up. So the tomato did me just right. Even after I ate that one tomato, it gave me water, in which I needed, because even when you're fasting and you drink a lot of water, you're going to get dehydrated because the salts are coming out of the body. So when you put the salts, the tomato has a certain amount of sodium in it naturally. So when you do eat that tomato, the tomato is going to give you a lot of nutrition. It's going to give you a lot of water as well, and it's also going to give you the glucose that your body is looking for, that you starved it from for so many days. So okay, you can hear me. Yeah, somebody on my YouTube channel couldn't hear me, and I'm just running my mouth. So but they're going to join us over here. So I thank you guys for hanging out with me, so I can share these cool tips with y'all. And hopefully y'all are able to take these tips and go ahead and do this for yourself, because I highly recommend fasting, Oh, hey, Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Be sure to go back and watch it because I'm going to post it so you can see the beginning, and I highly recommend you do so. Please go back and watch it. I'm doing this because I want you guys to experience the better side of life, you know? So, better. Not saying that you're not doing well now, just better. So, so the next thing that I will eat, even when I ate that tomato, now mind you, when you're exiting your detox or your fast, I keep calling it detox. When you're exiting your detox, this is a very, very, very smooth way for you to go into a detox. Especially if you de-scum while you were doing your fast. This is going to open your intestines up to go into a detox. When you de-scum the intestinal walls, when you go in and detox, now your body is going to receive the nutrition that it really is trying to receive to repair whatever is compromised, if you feel me on that one. So it's a smooth way to go in. So you already prep your mind to not eat. So take it a step further and start curtailing the kind of foods that you're going to be placing into your body. Don't get ready to go back into meat full blown. Don't get ready to go into food combination that's not supposed to be paired so soon. That is not giving justice to your body. This is the time where you're supposed to say, okay, I did this. I did it for this reason. And since I did it for this reason, now let me start doing a little research. Let me write down some foods that I would like to start adapting. Let me go into that and say, what are your thoughts on bone broth? Bone broths are fine, but to be honest, as a vegan bone broth specialist, which what this is right here, the bone broth, if you were to place, the purpose of the bone broth is to get the nutrients out of the marrow. So when you put it in hot water, you're killing the nutrients. It's basically blood. So this is why people eat meat rare. This is why Eskimos eat raw foods, raw meat, because they're trying to get the nutrition because they don't have the soil to grow. So they eat raw meat. It's frozen and then they start eating it. If you're trying to get minerals from a carcass, it's best to just eat it raw. Sorry to say, that's the best way to go about it, because once it's in the water, it's going to oxidize and you're killing it. You're killing all the nutrients. So another way you can go about a broth is this. People love this stuff. This is a vegan bone broth and it's plant-based. So when you do put it in water, it's not killing anything. It's actually pulling the nutrients out. And now you're drinking something that still has its nutritional value. Truth be told, that's my feeling on a bone broth. And I talk about this all the time. I talk about it to other people because they ask me questions about it, because I am a vegan bone broth maker. So this is how I get them to see the difference between the two. Not that I bash them, because I don't bash bone broths, but I do know that, it has a lot of fats in it. That when you do use a beef broth, that fat is going to go into your body, is going to go into your arteries, and it's going to clog your arteries. So you don't want to clog your arteries. The whole purpose of you taking in these nutrients is to help yourself. But at the same time, you can be getting a greasy film on top and consuming a greasy part. So that's not what we want. That's why I don't want to say I came up with this. I came up with this to make it a natural motion, and it is a natural motion, but it's more on top of that, but it's also a vegan bone broth. Thank you for this knowledge of mine. You're very welcome. So, so when it comes to that, that's how you want. So when it comes to continuing to exit out of your fast, start writing down. I have on my Instagram page, you guys can scroll through it and I'll pin it. I have food combination chart that will help you know how to combine your food from here on. So it's very important for you to give your body this new life. You gave it a new life. You kill the old stuff. Now go into it with a better mindset. So you start pairing your foods together. You know, we're not supposed to be eating meat and potatoes. We're not supposed to be eating certain salads with fruits, you know, because of the bad food pairing. You're not supposed to combine certain foods together. So go through my page and you'll see a chart that says poor food combination, and I have another one that talks about good food combinations that I'm going to release in a minute as well. So I have somebody working on it so I can make sure that you guys understand and, you know, it's legible, whatever the case is. So take that opportunity. Hey, you guys. Hey. So take your time to exit out of that fast slowly. Like I tell people to break their fast, the breakfast slow. You don't break your breakfast fast. Break it slow. And I talked about that a little earlier in this live. So please do yourself a favor. When you come out of your fast, eat one thing at a time. I am like a mono eater. So I will eat one thing at a time for the sake of making sure I don't overwhelm my system. I let it digest, and then when my body says hungry again, I'll go and eat something else. I am very good for eating one thing at a time. People call me a mono eater. Every once in a while I'll combine, but if I do combine, it is respectable. It is not out the place where it's, you know, in a place where it's not supposed to be. I always try to do right by my body. And every once in a while I may have something that's, you know, combined that's not supposed to be, but it wouldn't be from my kitchen. It'd be from probably a family member's kitchen or whatever the case is. And I'm just, you know, enjoying the moment, you know. But what I do for stuff like that, I take a green tea to flush my system out, to make sure that bad food combination is not going to be sitting in my stomach, because that's what bad food combinations do. They stop you from digesting your food out, and this is why people walk around bloated. So, and that's all because we combine foods improperly. So the way you keep your stomach down, the way you keep your energy up, is by eating proper food combinations, or mono eating like I eat, right? That might be better for women, because I don't think men is going to go for that at all. So yeah, so I just wanted to share that with you guys. I wanted to give you my best wishes if you decided to go in this space. Thank you. I'm glad you found it helpful. I hope that you are going to go into a fast more empowered with strength. If you guys need some help, I'm trying to think about if there's anything else that I would like to help you guys with exiting the fast. One of my main thing is continuing on with your health journey. So don't revisit your old bad habits if your purpose for fasting was to better your health. Do right by yourself. Get educated. Follow me. I'm going to educate you on many different ways to hack the system and hack your system, because it worked for me. You know, I want you to be able to eat foods that go together, or try to eat foods one at a time, so where your system can break it down properly and respectfully, and you can live your best life longer. All right. So y'all be sure to go on my Instagram page, on my YouTube page, which is Alchemy with Aset, and click on it. I'm going to figure out why I wasn't being heard over here, and make sure I put out more content like this. Let me ask some questions. Let me answer some questions. You said, I eat food for what it does for my body, not for taste. I eat a lot of fruits and veggies and fish, and I started these teas from the Goddess Collection. You guys check that out if it's helpful to her. The teas that I typically do, I just do natural teas. It doesn't matter. It can be something out of my garden. It can be a mint tea. It can be a milk thistle tea. It can be, if I'm deciding to do a little detoxing, What I would say, this is a descummer, a prerequisite for descumming, but at the same time, it is a detoxer, because once you descum, it goes into your body and begins to bless the body with the things that is missing because of all the nutrients that's in it. And the way you prepare it, make sure your nutrients are not diminished. So I'll also do green teas, because if I feel like I haven't drank enough water, I'll either put more water into my body and give my body a nice, day or so to be able to flush the system out. But if I eat a meat product such as turkey bacon or something like that, or which is not turkey bacon, because turkey bacon is not a lot. If I had I typically don't eat meat, but let's just say if I did have some meat that was hearty or something like that, which I typically don't, maybe I probably eat enough chicken wings, I don't know, at that point in time, I will flush my system out with green tea. Not your antioxidant green tea that you can find in any store. You typically could find this green tea in an Asian market, and it's typically labeled ballerina tea or slim tea, and they're typically in a green box. So you can use that for days where you felt like you've been a little trifling with your eating habits, and you can drink that, and the next day you flush your system. Or you can flush your system for a couple of days, and when you feel that the cramps are coming, you want to stop, because that's basically saying your body has flushed all the crap out of it and there's nothing else to flush, so you're going to start cramping. But those are the teas that I typically eat. Somebody say, how about juices? The people who combine like beets and apples. One second, you guys. So there we go. My phone keeps ringing and it's kind of making everything a little stagnated. But in that food combination chart that I was telling you guys to look through my page, you will see proper food pairing that goes for vegetables and fruits, because you have sub-acidic fruits, you have sweet fruits, you have vegetables, and those things are not supposed to be combined. So if you want to make sure you're taking on the right foods when you're doing your juices, that would be imperative for you. You can print it up and put it on your refrigerator. That's what I have some people doing when I work with them. You can put it on the refrigerator and you can be able to see how to pair this if you are trying to really do right by your body. And that's another thing too, after the detox. So after the fast, after you do your fast, it is a smooth opportunity for you to go into anything else. I would say, if you're going to do this fast, come out of the fast with a juice fast and consume your juices. Do that for a couple of days. And then when you come out of your juice fast, go ahead and introduce the mono eating and get your body to say, okay, I'm receiving this foods. After you do the mono eating, then go ahead and start combining foods that work together and not work against each other. And then now you have a healthier mindset on how to deal with the foods that's placed in front of you, or when you go to the stores and do what you need to do, pulling them out of there. So what I do, I'm a certified holistic practitioner. Some people call me a holistic guru. I'll take it. But at the same time, I feel like I am not where I would like to be, and I think I'll never be where I want to be, because there's so much to learn. And that's why every time I have something to share, I'm down for sharing it with you guys, because there's so much. So I want to help you. I help people raid their pantry to show them some things that may not be helpful to them. I help people with food combination. I help show people how to cook certain meals, 5 ingredients or less in 20 minutes, and it's going to help you out. So I send all my blessings to you guys. I'm going to go, and I hope to see you guys on my next live, either here or there. Okay? Yours truly.